Hi guys, welcome to another movie crew review. Today we'll be reviewing Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
The movie stars Ben Schwartz, Idris Elba, Keanu Reeves, and Jim Carrey.
In this third installment of the Sonic the Hedgehog film series, we find Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles as they take on Shadow, the newest of the Hedgehog opponents from across the lands. We see them team up with Dr. Robotnik, played by Jim Carrey, as he meets his long-lost grandfather, Gerald Robotnik, and it all culminates in a second act that is for the ages. So I'm going to start the review off today, and I thoroughly enjoyed this film. As a fan of the Sonic franchise, I found it to be a great addition. It didn't really have any slow parts for me. It had a good storyline, a different angle for the villain. We've had a couple of films with, these kind of anti-hero villains become good. So I enjoyed Keanu Reeves' Shadow version in this film and something humanizing to the character. But I don't really have gripes with this film at all. I enjoyed the animation style. I enjoyed Jim Carrey and the comedy antics of him and his grandfather and Agent Stone, who's a favorite of mine from the series. So I find his comedy to really go well with Jim Carrey. I think Ben Schwartz brings great comedic voice to Sonic the Hedgehog, and all the voices like Idris Elba as Knuckles, and Keanu Reeves is that real good, tough villain kind of voice that we saw like in the John Wick series. So I think that was a great choice for that Shadow character and a real dark take on it. So that was nice. But yeah, Ben Schwartz is the best in terms of like voice acting from my opinion. And I just don't think that this film let down. I think it's a nice upwards trajectory. Number 4, I'm sure will be along the way. So I'm looking forward to it when it comes out. But yeah, it's just really nice, really good film, and really enjoyment of the building of the world. This time we go to Tokyo and we go to London and to space. So we get 3 nice new escapes and a bit of time in each place, and it's just a great watch for family and all that. Cameron?
Yeah, for the Sonic series, Shadow has always been the character I've been drawn to. Just the way he sticks out compared to the others, the darker tone. What always caught my eye was he always rode a motorbike and wielded guns, even though he's got these powers. And so yeah, he was always a more diverse character in the Sonic series. And for me, he has the best story in the Sonic series. And for me, this movie, they've changed a little bit from what they did in the games. I feel the games went more hard-hitting, more emotional, and just well-rounded Shadow as a whole in the games. But their depiction in this movie sort of fell short for me. It wasn't as hard-hitting as he is in the games, but I mean, it's a family movie, so I think the way they've written the movie is to cater for that audience. But I mean, it's fine. I think it is better than the other two, but that's just my bias to Shadow, I think, that pulls me along. But yeah, nothing really stood out for me dramatically. I mean, Keanu did a good job. I felt like he didn't feel like Keanu. I think he actually played the Shadow role more than he did play a Keanu role, if that makes sense. Like, he actually put effort and felt like he did the research. So that I feel like was nice for me as being a fan. But other than that, I mean, yeah, it was pretty good, but nothing that really stood out for me. Man?
I enjoyed this movie, so I haven't played the games. And so for me, I think the Shadow storyline was pretty good. They humanized him. The backstory was pretty well done, and how it came together at the end. So Shadow stood out as a character among others. And I think from all the 3 Sonic movies, I preferred this one. I don't remember the second one more. So, and it was a lot of fun. Jim Carrey, he's my guy. So every time he's in a movie, so I'm gonna just have a fun. And he was having fun. Like, they even had a fourth wall breaking moment in with his grandfather. So yeah, quite a lot of fun. They're building, like John said, for a bigger universe. I saw a spoiler, but when I watched the movie, it wasn't there, so it was like a fake thing about. So I was expecting it and wasn't there. So I'm kind of disappointed now. But a good movie.
Yeah, yeah, I think it was quite enjoyable.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey's
Jim
portrayal.
Carrey, yeah.
He really brings it home for me
Yeah,
as Dr. Robotnik.
every time he levels it up, I don't know how. I mean, this time it's obvious because he's playing two characters and
Two for the price of one.
yeah, so it amplifies even more so, but it's weird. His chemistry with himself is so good. Like, it must be so hard, but he makes it seem so seamless, bouncing off yourself. I've never seen comedy done that easily with yourself. It's just, he made it seem like he actually had a twin double or something like the jokes really did. He really does pull these movies for me because his comedy is just, is second to none. It's him as a whole. He's just having fun the whole movie. You can tell.
Each movie he gets better and better.
Yeah,
I just enjoy his character
yeah.
more and more. And I like how, I was like, the rest of them, how do you say it? They're like evolved. Like Sonic is Sonic from start to finish. But when you see him from the first film to now, like how he's gone, but how realistic you can see the shift, if that makes sense. It's not all of a sudden he just became a crazy person.
Yeah.
Like, 5 minutes. Like it's a nice gradual shift. But yeah, I think Jim Carrey for me is a pull for this.
I wouldn't be able to watch these movies without him.
I don't think I could picture anybody else as Dr. Robotnik without it. Because I think that it'd come too serious, if that makes sense. Like, it's very easy to go to that maniacal, serious place and not have the comedy in it.
Correct.
So, yeah.
Because only he can pull this psychotic, crazy Jim Carrey-esque thing. So, yeah. But I do agree, like, the voice for Sonic, he does embody Sonic and he does do it really well. But for me, just for a cinematic, movie, it just, nothing really shines. Other than Jim Carrey, nothing really lifts this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I like seeing them work together. The whole team. Because in the last one, it was Tails and Sonic versus Knuckles. And then at the end, they come together.
Yeah.
But it's the first time that, we see, like, Gun in a proper way, if that makes sense. Yeah. We're seeing, like, Gun as a unit. And then also we're seeing the three of them actually work together and not just trying to find the emerald was the last one they were all together trying to find. So they're not just trying to find the emerald, they're actually trying to, work together, help a common enemy. And, James Marsden, he's in it a little bit, but still, what he's in it for is quite funny.
Yeah.
And so I think, it's good to have Tom in there for just even these little bits, keep the continuity going. But, I think, Ben Schwartz for me, the voice, him and Idris Elba, they're the ones that, from the Sonic team that make me, laugh, because Idris Elba is so serious, but then like you see scenes where he's like the real tough guy, and then he's wearing the crochet hat, or, he's there at the Japanese cafe, which you see in the trailer, and he's like, oh, you do look like a Pikachu, Pika. Those things, and Ben Schwartz, great Parks and Rec and things like that. He's always had a great, comedic timing voice. So for me, I always enjoy that.
Yeah. But again, the payoff for the other two movies is seeing them all together in this one. Yeah. So it is nice. But I just think, it was just, they're sort of at the start, they're not a great team. And then at the end, they come this team, but they don't really work, the three of them together in the movie much. Cause the final battle is Sonic v Shadow. Yeah. Which is how it is in the game, but that's cause it's two head honchos. But I think that fight scene, it just made me think of Dragon Ball Z really, cause they both go super safe. And the way they were fighting was just, so they come high speed together, they pause, and then they have this big like break. It's just so Dragon Ball Z-esque, but I suppose that's how it is, how it looks, and that's just for me to compare. But I think, the fight scenes did look pretty cool. Yeah. So, yeah. Alright guys, we're gonna give our scores.
Sure.
Moon, how many rings out of 10?
I give it 7 rings out of 10.
John?
I'm gonna give it 9 rings out of 10.
Yeah, I'll give it 6.5 rings out of 10. Alright guys, make sure to like, subscribe, check out our socials, and we'll catch you on the next one. Ciao.